doing a little bit of earth, excavation there. Ewan got to see a whole different kind of earth, or the forming of new earth in what has been a spectacular trip to the Reunion Islands.
Indeed, a place I think we all dream of visiting. I mean, if you look at some of the pictures we've shown you, the sweeping mountains, the deep trenches, that just give us this mystical feel about it, you know? And so I think Ewan was rather in disbelief when it dawned on him that all good things must come to an end, and he had to end his trip. But fortunately, there was one more treasure to explore. They call these the lava tunnels.
It was hard to believe our journey from South Africa to the little island of Reunion had come to an end. But there was one last treasure to explore. What makes this particular island so special are the sweeping landscapes and deep trenches that give it such a mystical feel. These amazing structures were all created by massive volcanic explosions that had the power of at least 1,600 atomic bombs.
Reunion Island is so diverse because you get the most beautiful beaches, crystal clear streams, waterfalls, rainforests, and then you also have this barren landscapes created by the last lava eruptions. And one thing you need to do when you come to Reunion is explore the natural lava tubes that's been created by that lava flow. And that is something very interesting to see. Now, normally when you would come and explore the lava tunnels, you would do it with a guide because they have all the necessary safety equipment. And what we have here is a very old technique of providing light down in the tunnels. Basically, you have a very special form of calcium that reacts with water, providing a gas, and then flames a little light right on the top right there. So what you would do is unscrew this and then put a few of this calcium rocks on the inside. A little bit like a puzzle because you got to fit them nicely. Just like that. You would close the top, you would open up here, throw some water in there, and that will control that dripping, creating the gas. And then on the helmet itself, it has this little hammer, which you flick, and it ignites a flame, and you have light. Voila!
It's hard to imagine that this beautifully serene landscape was once a mass furnace of erupting molten lava, with average temperatures in excess of 1,200 degrees, enough to cook a chicken in mere minutes. But the history of Reunion is also the history of the world and how it was made. So stepping into these lava tubes is a bit like stepping back into an ancient time.
C'est une empreinte d'arbre, ce qu'on appelle une périmorphose. C'est la lave qui a emballé les arbres.
So what we have here is very interesting. On the way to the lava tunnels, you will find these holes in the crust. And not only can you see how deep this was, but you must remember when this came down, it came over a forest. So there's a lot of trees. And here we have a perfect example where the lava surrounded a tree and it cooled down. And as the tree kept burning, it eventually burnt away and left the solid hole down there. And if you're lucky, sometimes you can even see the print of the bark on the inside, and that will tell you what tree that was. And you will find these holes scattered all over these lava crusts. Now here you can truly witness one of the wonders of nature. This is the entrance to one of the lava tunnels. We're going to go down to a maximum depth of about 4 meters. Just one thing to keep in mind, when you come visit the lava tunnels, wear good shoes because it is quite rocky, as you can see.
It's also worth noting that along with those dependable shoes, you might want to bring a torch to see into the dark chambers, especially if you're not comfortable with a carbide lamp, which is highly flammable. The lava tunnels that run underneath the surface can extend as far as 260 meters into the earth.
Now, this is something spectacular. If you look at the roof of this tunnel, it looks like chocolate, molten chocolate that's just dripping like this. What happened is as the lava came down in this tunnel and it cooled on the sides and over the roof, the lava that's still flowing down on the bottom heat the lava on the top and that melt, and then it kind of gets this whole dripping effect. Little chocolate stalactites, isn't that beautiful? Good enough to eat.
Donc là, on a ce qu'on appelle des stalagmites bulbeuses, c'est-à-dire c'est des empilements de gouttelettes de lave.
Here we have something really beautiful. Now, just like the lava stalactites we saw earlier, here we have a lava stalagmite, and it really looks like kids have been playing with Play-Doh. It's that beautiful. Now, this is formed when the lava on the bottom slows down, but still heating the ceiling, and then you have lava drops dripping from the side on one spot, and that forms that beautiful little stalagmite. Here we have an example of beautiful long stalactites, and stalactites here in the tunnels have got nothing to do with water drops. What happened here was the lava flow was closer to the ceiling, heating it much more, creating more fluid lava, and that dripped in these long stalactite formations. Absolutely incredible. Unlike your traditional stalactites that break easily, these ones you can go ahead and touch. Look at that. They are strong because they're essentially made out of molten rock and they won't break. And another thing that's really interesting, if you look behind me, you'll see a clear difference between the lava bed, you can think of it as a riverbed, and then the higher parts, which is much more smooth. And the rougher part means that that's where the lava started slowing down and finishing, and that's why it's all crumbly and you have the top nice smooth surface.
The smooth surface on some of these tunnels is formed by extremely hot lava flowing through them, often at temperatures exceeding 900 degrees Celsius, heating the surface of the tunnel and creating the smooth effect that reminds one of a dark slip and slide.
There's just so much to explore in these lava tubes, and if you take a look at that stalactite and thought maybe there's something wrong with it, well, you are wrong, because that guy is perfectly fine. What happened here is as the lava flows, there's gas trapped in this lava, and sometimes these bubbles explode, driving intense heat towards the ceiling, literally bending those stalactites, and that's how hot it is in here. Beware of the lava sharks, they're real.
Well, your lava shark is nothing. I found a dodo, which happens to be an icon of Reunion Island.
I love it.
Some of the narrow tunnels lead into massive lava chambers, which formed when flowing lava became obstructed, creating a large reservoir of lava and poisonous gases that pushed the ceiling up with immense pressure. When the lava released, it flowed into another tunnel, leaving behind these exquisite chambers. There are about 4 kilometers of known lava tunnels underneath Reunion, but there may be even more, which makes exploring these structures a never-ending adventurous pursuit.
What an unforgettable experience walking through lava tubes on Reunion Island. I'm definitely coming back. This has been a highlight of my life.
I mean, this is definitely a Reunion Island treasure, out and out.
And no doubt the perfect way to end an adventure on the island that never ceases to amaze.